Hello, everybody. This is Marc Cervantes, and this is Cerv's Legal Morsel of the Day. Today, I have Anthony Pope of AP Inspections with me today. He's going to be talking about inspections for first-time home buyers and people that are buying properties in general with regards to the inspection process. Hello, Anthony. How are you doing tonight?
Hey, I'm good, Mark. Nice to see you.
Fantastic. So, Anthony, I have a long relationship. Anthony and I have known each other for about 15 years. Anthony's done inspections for my own personal properties as well as investment properties. Anthony, can you tell everybody what exactly it entails with regards to home inspection?
Well, basically, it's a general evaluation of the home. Okay. We're going through the major components, structure, exterior, interior, plumbing, heating and cooling, roof, foundation, things of that nature. And basically, we just want to let our client know what they're getting into.
Gotcha. So inspections are not a requirement in Illinois, but they're highly recommended. Why do you think it's recommended for people to do a home inspection?
Well, your home is your biggest purchase you're going to make, and there's a lot going on with a house. For example, you don't want to buy a house where you need a $8,000 roof in a month, okay? Or you have a crawl space where you got water seepage, and that's $2,500 fix. Our inspections, pretty much 99.9% of the time, we find issues. And, I want my client to know what they're getting into and, make sure it's not a money pit.
Gotcha. So people buy different types of homes. They could either buy a condominium, for instance, a single family home, a multi-unit. Can you tell us the difference between what you're looking for in a condominium versus a single family home versus a multi-unit?
Well, it's all pretty much the same routine. A condo, obviously, we're not looking at, if it's a high rise, we're not looking at the roof, the exterior structure. Whereas in a house, we are. Multi-units, we are. There are some condos in the three flat, the buyer's on the hook for 1/3 of the common area. So those instances, I do look at the exterior and the roof. Um, in my opinion, there really isn't that much of a difference. It's just, different parts of the inspection I'm incorporating.
Gotcha. Okay. So outside of the fixtures and mechanicals, you provide other services, for instance, radon. Can you explain what radon is and the things that you're looking for in a radon test?
Well, radon is a natural occurring gas that seeps through the soil. It's a radioactive gas, and if we inhale high concentrations over an extended period of time, it causes lung cancer. Government states about 20 to 21,000 people a year die due to radon-induced lung cancer. And it seeps through our foundation into our living space. So, now it comes through the foundation, gets into our living space, it's got nowhere to go. So it's stuck. And over time, it'll accumulate in high concentrations. And now we're sitting there hanging out, living in this air. You can't smell it, can't see it, can't taste it. We don't even know we're damaging our lungs. So we do test. We measure it in picocuries. The average radon in the air around Chicagoland, I'd say about 0.8 picocuries. The government states 4.0 picocuries or higher is the action level. That's when they recommend you mitigate. So to put it in perspective, if you live in an environment at 4.0 for a year, that's equivalent to having roughly about 200 chest x-rays in a year. I mean, that's a lot. So if you come back at 3.9, the government says you're fine. Okay? My opinion, you're still high. So, if you test and you're not high, at least you know where you're at. Now it's up to you, personal preference. Do I want to mitigate or not? My personal opinion is I would mitigate anything 2.0 or higher. We know how to mitigate for rather inexpensive, and we know it works.
Gotcha. So with regards to other problems, what are the most common problems you see in a home inspection?
Where do I start? A lot of electrical issues, roof issues, installation. My opinion, your roof's worst enemy is wind, ripping those things right off. A lot of missing shingles. A lot of mechanical issues, furnace, air conditioner, water heater not properly installed, interior leaks, unusual noises. Um, I do get a handful of basement seepage, crawl space leaks. Um, you know, I could keep going on and on and on. There's always a lot going on. Even
Sure.
new construction. I did new construction today. I probably found 12 issues,
Sure.
easy. And it's a new house.
Sure. So I know that I've gotten comments before from the people I've recommended to you. And one of the things that they've always told me is that you educate them. When you have a first time home buyer that's never owned a home, they're probably renters their whole life or they live with their parents. Um, what people have told me is you educate them. What do you show or tell people when you're going through the inspection with them?
Well, I try and tell them everything that's on my mind, everything that I'm looking at. I'm going to find issues. It's the nature of the beast. So, I explain to them the issues, what I feel, what's going on, who they should call to remedy it, if it's a big remedy, minimal remedy. And then, also I point out the good stuff on how it's installed. And I do like to show them, common maintenance tips. I always show them where the water shutoff is, gas shutoff. Um, I just want them to come hang out with me, and whatever I'm looking at, I'm just kind of talking out loud and letting them know what I'm looking at.
Fantastic. So, in the times that we're in right now with COVID, have you seen any changes to the way you do your inspections? Are you seeing any new difficulties because of the stay-at-home order?
Well, believe it or not, I haven't seen much change. I do wear my gloves on all inspections. Um, I have been masking up more, obviously. A lot more homeowners, they're a little bit more adamant about, getting in, getting out. But, I haven't. I see a little change, but it's the same routine. Um, I know there's some other inspectors, they don't want the clients there. They'd rather them just email them the report. They don't want anybody there. My opinion is you're spending a lot of money on a house. I want you with me. We'll keep our distance. We'll keep our masks on. And, I'll give them the same inspection I always do.
Fantastic. So, one of the other things that I've been seeing a trend on is people getting a home inspection before they list their property for sale. Do
Hmm.
you recommend that? Have you seen that? What have you seen regarding that issue?
I do a handful of pre-sale listings. And the benefit is it it eliminates the big surprises when you're selling your house. You'd be amazed at how many homes I go into and the homeowner's like, oh, it's great. I know everything's going on. And I'll find an issue that they never even knew was going on because they've never gotten way back in that corner of the attic or army crawled way back into that crawl space. And, when you get a pre inspection, you know, not only am I looking for issues, I'm also educating the client on, tell them, hey, clean up this, regrade that. I would scrape and paint here because I'm sure you can attest it makes for an easier sale, transition, closing.
Fantastic. Well, Anthony, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate you taking the time out to explain what you do. Now, you want to let everybody know how they can contact you? Can you give them your email and your phone number?
Sure, my email is Anthony at apinspections.us. My phone number is 630-460-6293. I travel all over Chicagoland, Evanston to New Lenox, Harvard to Hazel Crest,
Fantastic.
So yeah, and if you ever got any questions about anything, you need some advice, please feel free to contact me.
Well, thank you very much, Anthony. Thank you, everybody, for listening again. And hopefully you guys will reach out to Anthony because he's one of the best. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mark.